Hi students, welcome back for the session 3 of History Chapter 2 Socialism in the Europe and Russian Revolution. As said in the last session, this is a question answer session wherein you have to read the slides, listen to the pronunciations and the video, write down the question answers in your notebook, which will help you to recite and prepare yourself during the exams. So let's get started with the question answers. First question: why were the social, economics and political conditions in Russia before 1905? I'll repeat. What were the social, economic and political conditions in Russia before 1905? Before I start with the answer, I would again tell you that now you are into grade 9, so definitely the answers will be of a bigger size, but you have to understand them and memorize them, because as I told you in the very first session that social science is all about theories. You have to memorize the question answers for the better marks in your exams. So I'll start with the answer. The following were the social, economic and political conditions in Russia before 1905. A. Social conditions. The majority religion were Russian Orthodox Christianity, which had grown out of the Greek Orthodox Church. But the empire also included Catholics, Protestants, Muslims and Buddhists. The non-Russian nationalists were not treated equal to that of Russian nationalists. They were not given the freedom to follow their culture and language. Workers were divided into groups on the basis of skill and training. Peasants formed their group called commune or mir. Do remember these terms. Peasants formed their group called commune or mir. B. Economic conditions. The majority of Russians were agriculturists. Grain was the main item of export from Russia. Industries were few. Prominent industrial areas were St. Petersburg and Moscow. Much of the production was done by the craftsmen. They were large, they were, there were large factories alongside the craft workshops. With the expansion of the Russian rail network, foreign investment in factories grew. There were huge coal, iron, and steel production. There were equal numbers of factories, workers, and craftsmen. The workers were exploited by capitalists who made their life miserable. C. Political conditions. Russia was monarchy. Tsar Nicholas II ruled Russia and its empire that extended to current day Finland, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, part of Poland, Ukraine and Belarus. It stretched to the Pacific and comprised today's Central Asian states as well as Georgia, Armenia and Azerbaijan. The parliament, the Tsar believed in the divine rights of kings. They were not responsible to the parliament. All political parties were illegal in Russia. Second question: in what ways were the working population in Russia different from other countries in Europe before 1917? Answer is: the working population in European countries was a more united lot than those in Russia. Workers in England and the Germany formed association and fought for better living and working conditions. Funds were set up by these associations to help workers in distress. The workers in European countries were united in the demand for a reduction of working hours and the right to vote. Workers' association also supported political parties and ultimately formed political parties themselves. The Labour Party in Britain and a Socialist Party in France are examples of political parties formed by socialists and trade unionists. In total contrast, the working population in Europe and the Russian workers were not united. Workers were divided on the basis of their occupation. Workers whose jobs needed skill and training considered themselves on a higher plane than the untrained workers. Workers had strong links to the villages they came from, and this also caused a social divide among workers. Workers' associations rose dramatically in Russia, also in Europe. They demanded reduced working hours and higher wages. The workers were suppressed by the government. Question 3. Why did the Tsarist autocracy collapse in 1917? Answer. Anti-German sentiments in Russia were high owing to the First World War. Rather than Tsarina Alexander's German origin and poor advisors made the autocracy unpopular. Russia suffered shocking defeats on the waterfront with millions of casualties. Crops and buildings were destroyed by the Russian army to prevent enemy having an advantage. It led to millions of refugees. Tsar was being cursed for this situation. Food shortage led to people rioting for food. The Russian army too shifted its loyalty and began supporting to the revolutionaries. A lockout took place at a factory on the right bank of Neva River in sympathy with the workers on the left bank of on 22nd February. Women led the way to the strikes. The government imposed a curfew. Later, the government suspended the Duma, which resulted in sharp protests. The demonstrators ransacked the police headquarters and raised slogans about bread, wages, better hours, and democracy. The government called the cavalry, but they refused to fire on the demonstrators. Soldiers and the striking workers gathered to form a Soviet or council. In the building where the Duma met, this was the Petrograd Soviet. The very next day, when a delegation went to see the Tsar, the military commanders advised the Tsar to abdicate. Soviet leaders and Duma leaders formed a provisional government to run the country. The Tsarist autocracy thus collapsed in February 1917. Question 4. Make two lists, one with the main events and the effects of the February Revolution and other with the main events and effects of the October Revolution. Write a paragraph on who was involved in each, who were the leaders, and what was the impact of each on Soviet history. Answer. February Revolution. You may find this answers bit bigger, but you can see in the question itself it is asking for two different revolutions. Answer, that is February Revolution. 22nd February, factory locked out on the right bank. 23 February, sympathy strike was by workers in 50 factories. 24th and 25th, strikers staged demonstrations. Police called out to suppress the worker. 25th, the government suspends the Duma. 27th, police headquarters ransacked by the workers. Regiments support the workers, striking workers from the Petrograd Soviet. 2nd March, the Tsar abdicates. Soviet and Duma leaders from the provincial government. The effect was army officials, landowners, and industrialists become influential. Restrictions on public meeting were removed. Trade unions grew in number. So these are the effects of February Revolution. October Revolution. 16th October. Vladimir Lenin, the Bolshevik leaders, persuades the Petrograd Soviet and Bolshevik Party to agree to a socialist seizure of power. The Military Revolutionary Committee was appointed by the Soviet 24th. The uprising against the provisional government begins. Military Revolutionary Committee seized government office and arrested ministers. The Winter Palace was sealed. Ministers of the provincial government surrendered. The Bolsheviks gained control. Then what was the effect of the October Revolution? Industries and banks were nationalized. Russia became a one-party state, the single party being the Bolshevik Party. During the February Revolution, the factory workers and the government regiments played an important role. The workers and the regiments joined together. The major impact of the February Revolution was the downfall of Russian monarchy and the establishment of the Petrograd Soviet. Vladimir Lenin, the Bolshevik leader, played a major role during the October Revolution. His Bolshevik party overthrew the provisional government and gained power. The Russian Communist Party came into existence. Question 5. What were the main changes brought about by the Bolsheviks immediately after the October Revolution? Many changes were brought about the Bolsheviks after the October Revolution. They were: industries and banks were nationalized. This meant that the government now had their ownership and management. The land was declared social property and peasants were allowed to seize the land of the nobility. In cities, Bolsheviks enforced the partition of large houses according to family requirements. The use of the old titles of the aristocracy was banned. New uniforms of the army and officials were designed. The Bolshevik party was renamed as the Russian Communist Party, that is, Bolshevik. Despite opposition by their political allies, the Bolsheviks made peace with Germany and withdrew from the First World War. In the later year, the Bolsheviks became the only party to participate in the elections of All Russian Congress of Soviets. It became the Parliament of Russia. Question 6. Write a few lines to show what you know about kulaks. They were the well-to-do peasants who were supposed to be holding stocks in the hope of higher price. They were raided so that they may be eliminated in order to develop modern farms and establish state-controlled large farms. Duma. The Duma was a consultative parliament that was created on the permission of the Tsar during the 1905 revolution. Women workers between 1900 and 1930, women made up 31% of the factory labor force but were paid between half and three-fourths of a man's wage. They actively led the strikes in many factories. They even worked on collective farms. The liberals. They were a group which looked to the changed society. They wanted a nation which tolerated all religions and opposed the uncontrolled power of dynamic rulers. They argued for a respective elected parliamentary government subject to law, interpreted by a well-trained judiciary, independent of rules and officials. Stalin's collectivization program. Stalin hoped to solve the problem of food storage by combining small farmers with large and modern farms. This was cultivation program that began in 1929. Peasants were forced to work in these state-controlled collective farms called kolkhoz. This is where we end the question and answer session of the chapter 2 of history. I hope you people are following all the instructions given by me in every session of reading the textbook, underlining the hard word, writing them 5 times, listening to the videos carefully, reading the slides, and writing down these question answers in your notebook, which will be checked later offline or online. So I hope you people are doing well, staying at home, taking care of yourself, so you can be safeguarding from the pandemic second wave. So do take care of yourself and stay home, stay healthy, stay safe. Thank you.